Oh man, so Bitcoin is falling from a critical pattern which I've identified in the charts. I need to make you guys aware of a key level, and you might not like me for how low this price could go. Guys, smash up the like button. Don't forget to subscribe as always. If you want to buy any of these cryptos, you can do so using BitGet or BYBIT. Links in the description to claim your bonuses. Those are indeed affiliate links which support the channel. Now guys, if you've been following this content, I was sharing with you guys play-by-play updates of what was going on Bitcoin on my Twitter and Telegram. That's where you need to be. Link is in the description. It's completely free. But this is what you could see. I said, this was yesterday. I said, Bitcoin, as expected, we failed to make the higher high and go back to trend line for a retest. This blue trend line here. Equity market is bleeding and filtering through to BTC. Then moments later, I posted, watching this potential head and shoulders bearish pattern play out on the hourly for BTC. Need a bounce at that trend line. And you can see I marked that out for you guys so you can see. Now, hours later, while I was sleeping, as you can see, we got the breakdown from the pattern exactly as we said. We lost the trend here from this blue trend line here. We broke to the downside, and now we're playing out the scenario from our head and shoulders pattern. But this was so obvious from back here, right? When we got rejected here from 24, I knew that was a key level. I'm going to remind you why very shortly. You can see I put the green arrow here to say, guys, we need to post this right shoulder above it. We were unable to, and at this point, the writing's on the wall, right? If you know the psychology of the bulls and the bears, you know we're coming back to this trend line. If we cannot hold it and bounce really high above 24,000, the bears are coming into control. You're curling over. You can see RSI starting to fall to the downside, and you can see now we're breaking to the downside. Now, here's the scary thing. The technical target from a breakdown of this type of head and shoulders pattern brings you down to about the 20,600 level. That comes in with horizontal support as well. Now, what does that mean? If I zoom out, that now brings you straight back into your bear flag pattern, which we worked so hard to break out of. There's one saving grace. Just switching back to the 4-hourly, the one saving grace is if we can retest the top line of the channel from the bear flag. That's the only thing that's going to save us from playing out down to this 20,500 level. And so what we're looking for here is, can Bitcoin come down to this 21,900 level-ish and start bouncing back and bounce beyond that 24,000? Really, really important. That's the only way we're going to avoid coming back into the bearish flag. But here's the scary thing. If we come back into the bearish flag, you got to then all the negative price targets start to come back into play, meaning that not only is the low of 17,600 back in play, but we could be breaking down from this bear flag and playing out to lower price targets as well. Okay. Fear and greed index is the only thing which is staying on our side right now, sitting there at 31. The market's feeling pretty comfortable. And remember, the longer you spend at certain prices, 20, 21, 22, the market gets accustomed to it, and the extreme fear starts to dissipate as people start to see that, okay, we're staying here for a little while. The market has to keep steadily falling for you to be at those extreme fear levels. Now, the other thing which led this downfall, like I tweeted to you guys yesterday, is on Friday at the close, tech just got absolutely smashed. The Nasdaq fell almost 2%, S&P down 1%, and the Dow Jones down 0.5%. The tech earnings were not great, particularly with Snapchat. Then all the advertising plays fell, right? Facebook, Twitter, all of them started falling to the downside based on Snapchat's earnings being a canary in the coal mine, so to speak, for future earnings for these tech companies. Now, let's take a look at a different style chart here for Bitcoin. I'm also going to come on to Phantom, Ethereum, and MATIC very briefly, so stay with me till the very end. And as you can see here, we were following this long-term trend line here on Bitcoin. If you've been watching my videos, you know you're fully aware of this pattern here, and indeed we got the long-term breakout here, but again you're seeing that curling over now. The only saving grace is if we get a retest and we bounce. Otherwise we're coming back in and we could be revisiting lower price targets back in the pattern, okay, which is not what we want here on Bitcoin. Let me get a slightly cleaner chart here, and let me bring out the EMA ribbon here on the daily, and you can see exactly what happened here. Is we got the rejection right here at the EMA ribbon. This was a really positive day for us, and exactly as I warned, this is what happens time and time again. Intraday on this day, this candle was green and pushing through here. Everybody got super excited and FOMO'd in, but you gotta step back, like I continue to tell you guys, and say, guys, we need to follow the data. We can't get excited with everybody on Twitter saying, oh, we're heading back up to 48,000 next week. Follow the data, let the data guide you, wait for confirmation. By waiting, you're going to lose a couple of percent, but at least you know what's going on. So you had this push into your EMA ribbon, and what did I say every single time? I said, guys, we do not flip our EMA bullish until we get the close above 24,000. And you guess what happened, guys? The bears did not let us get that close above 24,000. And now what do we end up? It looks so obvious now, right? Oh, look, of course we got rejected by EMA ribbon. But that's something I've been warning about for a long time here, that we are getting rejected from our EMA ribbon, and we could be coming back down below. You've got to give the benefit of the doubt to the bears because this is their trend. Okay, you cannot get excited and say suddenly we're flipping bullish when you've not got a clean reversal and you haven't worked your way through. Yes, we got the breakout from that bear flag. Nobody was denying that, but we haven't got the close above 24,000. Therefore, we didn't flip our EMA ribbon bullish at any point. Okay, so that's really, really important to understand. The other area for significance is if I just pop over, let's go to a weekly chart. And let me just let's just bring out the 200-week moving average, like I've shown you a few times here this week. This continues to be an important level, okay, guys? So you can see here we fell below our 200-week moving average, and now you can see we tried to wick above it. But again, no coincidence, with now 1.5 days left, Sunday you close this candle, the bears have pushed us back below our 200-week moving average. It's acting like resistance yet again, which is not great. We need to recover this quickly and get above this 200-week moving average, and it looked like we were going to do so at one point, right? And we've got thrown straight back below the line here. So a lot of negative stuff here on Bitcoin for us to monitor. And anybody who says, look, we're going to head to the upside, there is always a possibility with crypto you can get an impulsive move to the upside. But what my job here is to do is to show you what the data is showing. And yes, there can be an impulse move against the trend, but I'm showing you where the trend is. And the trend right now is a bearish trend on all these different time frames. On the shorter time frames, I've shared with you the inverse head and shoulders pattern, showing that we're coming down for a retest. The only hope we've got here is if we get this retest of 21,900 at the top of this channel. Okay, so let me just show you that one more time. If we get the bounce at the top of this channel, I've really messed up my charts now. If we get the bounce here at the top of the channel and we can go back higher and get above 24,000, then we're back in play. Otherwise, the bears continue to be in control. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum. Ethereum also showing a little bit of strength here. Obviously, it's going to weaken due to Bitcoin, and we have to keep an eye on that because you've got to follow the overall trend. But if you've not watched my Ethereum update from yesterday, make sure you go watch that because I explain exactly why Ethereum is, for the current time being, able to move against the trend. And the good thing here with Ethereum, just from a technical perspective, and again, I don't think this is going to last if Bitcoin continues to bleed, but for now, you do have these higher lows and you do have these higher highs. So we haven't got the alarm sign that we did for Bitcoin, where Bitcoin started to curl over and create this head and shoulders pattern. Ethereum is showing a little bit of relative strength here. Now, that doesn't mean it can't come down to 1415. That's your next support line there. And then my next support line after that for Ethereum sits at about 1265 here, back at the top of its channel. So if Bitcoin starts falling back into its channel, I think Ethereum might start to come back to these levels and try testing whether it wants to come back into its channel as well. Let's also take a look at Phantom. Phantom is a shining light today. I'll probably make a separate video on this later on today, but really up 6% here on the day, which is phenomenal. But a few things to keep an eye out here on Phantom is it just hasn't quite created its higher high. So I know everybody's super excited, but I just need to be careful here because this high on this candle was sitting at 35 cents, okay? So 36 cents. Now this candle just got rejected there at 35 cents as well. So we've not been able to go and create a higher high. We've got our higher lows, which is great, but in order to maintain this uptrend, you need your higher high as well. If we bring out the EMA ribbon, you can see here we're quite extended. Maybe it wants to come back down. And again, if Bitcoin continues to play out from this inverse head and shoulders pattern, I'm not sure how many days Phantom can have like today with 6% up whilst Bitcoin is bleeding 2%. So definitely want to keep an eye out there on Phantom. MATIC similarly falling, right? Really testing its 4-hourly EMA ribbon here and could potentially lose its 4-hourly EMA ribbon here. So we need to keep an eye on this. And again, the same writing was on the wall, right? I shared this guy with you guys a good couple of days ago now. Bearish divergence here at the top. It peaked out after a nice big run. I said that for both Phantom and MATIC, and indeed they both called off here to the downside as the short started to come back in. It wasn't able to create its higher high, and now we're entering a downward trend, right? So if this low posts below here, post below the 80 cents mark, if this dips below the 80 cents mark, then you're straight back into a downtrend again, which we need to keep an eye out. So there you have it, guys. A quick whirlwind Saturday update on the markets, TA on all your favorite coins. If you appreciate this type of emergency content on some of your favorite coins on a weekend, then smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Remember, volume on a weekend is always super suppressed, so don't take these trends as gospel. Sometimes you can see a weekend which is completely the opposite of what happens on a Monday morning. So be very careful trading on Finley trading markets. If you're buying on spot, that's completely fine. If you're adding to your long-term bags, you can do so using BYBIT or BitGet. Links in the description. Make sure you take a few moments to go watch two videos, which I'm going to link up here. The first I'm going to link up is a tokenomic analysis of Arweave, a really great project which I do some analysis on to see whether it can potentially 10, 15, 20x from here. And I also do a deep breakdown of Ethereum 2.0 and what it means. Go watch those two videos here, and I'll see you in the next one.